What's up? Hello, everybody. Ibrahim back here again with the final video of the Discipline Diaries, which was essentially a month-long exploration journal kind of series that I was working on for this past 4 weeks to a month. And final episode, I'm just going to show you guys, or not show you, but I'm going to talk to you about what I've learned, what I've experienced, what I've improved on, what I've seen needs improvement, and basically just sum up my entire month in the lens of this dive into myself, into my work ethic, and into my discipline. So, just to begin, I'm going to just sum up basically what I brought you guys in the first episode of the series, which was essentially the essential few and the transformation protocol I used, where I was focusing on my health, my work, my tribe. And so it's basically just how I thought and what I originally intended to do to optimize myself and my performance on a daily basis. And so just to give you most of the main points, it was basically to eat well, sleep well, take care of my body, take care of my mind, talk to my loved ones, and work as hard as I possibly could to get ahead. And so if you want to go back and see the whole video I've been talking about, this is the sheet that I went off of. And to give you guys more context of how the month went and a basic summary, I think I did very well in terms of sticking to those objectives. I think I did very well in terms of getting what I wanted to get out of this month. However, those lessons did come with some added lessons, with some hidden meanings and things of that nature, because I think that my intent was to increase my performance, to get ahead, to become a better athlete, become a better person. And I think I did all those things. I can recall I've spent much more time talking to my loved ones on the phone, things like that. Always remember to call them. That's a good habit that I think I've built over this past month. I have been performing better in practices, and I've been training extra, getting stronger, feeling better on the pitch. So I think that is a benefit of that. That performance also ties into having eaten well, feeling well nourished and ready to perform. Sleeping, which ended up being an issue towards the end of that month because the schedule required, I was waking up earlier with that schedule. However, I was still working. I had a job, or I still do have a job, but part-time job where I've been coming home late some nights. We had a couple nights where we had to travel to a away game. And so those things kind of affected my sleep schedule uncontrollably, and I couldn't really control that, how late I got home. And still waking up the next day. Had a little bit of issues with like the fatigue that brings on, not having enough sleep. Things of that nature did affect me. However, I think that I did well in most days to kind of just kick the sheets off, get out of bed, and to continue to roll and keep going. However, towards the end of the month, I think I learned the most important lesson of them all, which I believe was that prioritizing myself in terms of knowing how much workload I can really handle. And if you think about it, I mean, even superhumans, even LeBron James, Lionel Messi, Kobe Bryant, even superhumans need rest days. And it wasn't about the fact that I wasn't taking rest days, because I do have typically one day a week where I don't do anything soccer related or anything like that, just to give my body physical rest. I don't do anything that's like high impact. Sometimes I'll walk from here and there, and I'll juggle sometimes against the wall just for fun, but I'll never do anything high impact on those rest days. And so it wasn't for a lack of rest days, but it was a lack of workload management. And over the week, since I'm a very purpose-driven person, from any given Monday to any given Sunday, my body would accumulate stress. And I wouldn't really notice it because I was so focused on the task ahead of me and getting on to the next step of my journey and becoming more and more successful, that you don't notice that stress. And so that stress builds up over a week, over 2 weeks, over 3 weeks, over 4 weeks. And so towards the end of this month, what was happening was that our season's dynamic changed a little bit. We had playoff games that were supposed to be this past Saturday, which was 2 days ago, but they got moved out to 2 weeks. And so pushing off all those stressors and all of the internal emotions and stress that I had been suppressing in assumption that we were going to have a big game next week. I need to be ready to perform. I can't let stress or anything get in the way of that. Pushing all those emotions deep down into me and into a ball. I didn't notice them until the game got pushed a week back. And since then, we've had 2 weeks of just practice, which is a lot less high stakes than a championship or a region final, which is the game we're playing this upcoming Saturday, as opposed to this past Saturday. Because of that game being pushed back, we had 2 weeks where it was just a extended and prolonged period of that stress that I was building up, just releasing itself in many, many ways. For example, when I would sleep, I would grind my teeth. I'd have my fan on. I wouldn't have my blankets on, but I would still wake up just covered in sweat. I would have dizzy spells in the middle of the day. I was ridiculously fatigued, even if I'd slept 8 to 10 hours and not woken up. Like, even if, like, on a Sunday, I woke up at 11 and I went to sleep the previous night at maybe not, between 9 and 11, how I normally go to sleep. And I woke up late and still drowsy. And so those things were just like, even on a rest day, like, it isn't necessarily natural for me to wake up that late because that was just my body recovering from all the work I had put in before. And it was recovering from a much more drastic need for sleep because of the quality of sleep that I've been getting over the past month just wasn't there. And not only that, there was one session where I feel like it kind of came to a boil. Like, I was just lightheaded, kind of confused at practice. Not necessarily confused like in the soccer sense, but like I was staring into nothingness, wondering, like, hanging more like, oh my gosh, where am I? Oh yeah, I'm at practice. Just dazed a little bit and just a little bit dizzy and just lethargic during that day. And additionally, there was times where, like, I was literally standing up and I was fighting, like I was fighting falling asleep while standing up. And so it's like things like that were just the accumulation of that stress, which brings me to my biggest lesson from this month, which not only was, prioritize these things, prioritize the discipline and things like that. These things are going to get you ahead, which, they did, because I think that I improved and I learned a lot from this past month in the tangible sense of performance and general striving for excellence as a human being and as a man. However, I think that the biggest lesson and biggest takeaway that I learned was that workload, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And of course, those sessions are going to get you ahead. Of course, if you keep doing that every single day, grinding, you're going to push yourself to higher limits. You're going to exceed your limits. And because of that, I think that now my capacity has grown because of that past month and this experiment and this concentrated focus I've had on working and improving myself. However, it also made me recognize that there are limits and that sometimes sacrificing a lot of the things that are good for you, sacrificing a lot of the things that help you keep functioning, those sacrifices should be non-negotiable because everyone has an upper limit of what you can continue to achieve while also being productive. And so these two levels kind of play with each other. It's like, how much can I do while also being able to be productive the next day? And you raise the limit and the other limit raise, and the limit raise. And it's like much more of a prolonged, consistent journey than it is a 1 month speed blitz of how far can I push myself. And there is value in doing the kind of thing that I did, I believe, because you make leaps and jumps and big strides and coming ahead of that time. But making that lifestyle sustainable is my new focus. Like, I'm now more focused on making that lifestyle sustainable in a way where I can continue to improve each and every day, where I can continue to set myself ahead of my peers, where I can continue to become a better athlete, a better man, become a harder worker, and all those things without the drawback of completely burning myself out and being unable to perform the most basic tasks because of how burnt and stressed out I am. And so that is the major takeaway of what I learned from this past month. I really appreciate anybody who tuned in to any of my short form reels, to any of the longer videos that I posted. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, supporting, leaving comments. So thank you for that. we have playoffs coming up this week and the next week. And then after that, hopefully, we will make it to nationals. So there's a lot of interesting content ahead. This is not the end of anything, of anybody's journey. I still have years and years and years to go, trying to be pro, trying to continue to play college soccer, this, that, and the third, figuring my way, finding my way out, where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing, all those kinds of things. So there's a lot more content to come. If there's anything in specific that you guys want an inside look on, for me to speak on, leave it below in the comments. And thank you for watching the series. Sincerely, I thank you all for your support. And remember, keep climbing your mountain and have a great day.